Yannick Ngakoue is out for the season. Some unfortunate news that dropped earlier today per Matt Eberflus. We're going to talk about that and the impact that is lost with him no longer available. Then we'll take a look at some internal and external replacements to help replace that production that Ngakoue leaves behind. This is why you subscribe, whether it's good news or bad news. We're going to cover it all if it relates to the Chicago Bears. So hit that subscribe button, join the channel. We're publishing content every single day, multiple videos most days, including live shows Monday, tomorrow, Thursday, and on game days. Welcome to Bears Now. I'm Harrison Graham. Like I mentioned, Ngakoue is out for the year. Matt Eberflus announced that he broke his ankle against Detroit and requires surgery. What's crazy is Ngakoue actually played through that injury for a few plays after he suffered it. Flus said he appreciates his professionalism throughout the year and how he helped some of the young guys. And look, let's be honest here. It's not like Ngakoue was having an awesome year. Now, it's definitely going to hurt that he's not out there because I think he was starting to play better next to Montez Sweat. But 4 sacks, he had 8 or more in all prior seasons of his career before coming to Chicago. He was likely not going to get that this year, although to Flus's point, definitely missed on a few opportunities, especially earlier in the season. At the same time, even though he wasn't playing at his peak level like we've seen it in the past in the NFL, it's still a notable loss. I mean, you got to figure out who's going to start over there. Is it going to be DeMarcus Walker? That's who I have over there. He's been kind of playing some edge, some interior. I think he's a better pass rusher from the interior, but he's probably a better run stopper from the edge. So kind of a give and take there. I expect him to move around still. Dominique Robinson probably gets another opportunity. I think Rasheem Green is probably the first guy that sees his snaps go up by a pretty significant margin here as well. And like I said, it's a bummer, man, because Ngakoue, he kind of took on a leadership role for this team. Again, he wasn't playing awesome, but I thought his play was starting to tick up just a little bit, especially with Sweat coming in. But, it is what it is. The Bears are certainly going to miss him. I do want to say on a positive note, I don't think this loss is one of those where it's like, well, if we had Ngakoue, we might have won our final 4 games. I still think the Bears have everything in front of them to accomplish goals that they still want to, and you just got to flush this and keep pressing forward. This is the NFL. Guys get injured, and for Ngakoue, we hope he gets healthy. And look, he's set to be a free agent. We'll see what that means in his career. I'd be open to bringing him back on a cheap deal, but we'll have to wait and see and cross that bridge when it comes. Show Yannick Ngakoue some love. Type his jersey number in the comments, 91. Great dude by all accounts, and obviously, we wish him well, and he's obviously still a part of the team. So spam 91 in the comments if you want to wish Ngakoue a quick recovery. All right, let's now get into some Yannick Ngakoue replacements. We'll talk about some internal guys here in a little bit, but first, I do want to take a look at some free agents that are still out there, and there are a few somewhat notable ones. Let's start with the top one. I think maybe the most practical one. We saw Melvin Ingram get signed yesterday, having 6 sacks last year by the Dolphins. He's back in Miami. How about Carlos Dunlap, who spent last season with the Chiefs? I'm shocked he's not on a team. I thought the Chiefs would re-sign him. They did not. He's still out there, had 39 tackles, 4 sacks, 8 pass breakups, ironically. He got his hands on a lot of passes at the line of scrimmage. He was like their 3rd edge rusher last year and was pretty good at it as a rotation guy, and is yet without a home. I don't know if maybe he's just waiting for the right opportunity or maybe he doesn't want to play. I'm not sure, but I thought he played pretty well last year for Kansas City, and I am a bit surprised that he's not available. So he'd be someone I'd be interested in if I'm Chicago and I'm looking to add some outside help. All right, before we get to our next replacement here, let's talk about today's sponsor. That is Marine Layer. It is official, guys. I have found my favorite clothing brand. It is Marine Layer. MarineLayer.com/chatsports is going to get you 15% off this holiday season. Their shirts, guys, are so comfortable. It's just awesome. The softest t-shirts, polos, sweaters, and other items available right now are with Marine Layer. And with Christmas season here, perfect holiday shopping with Marine Layer. You get that discount like I mentioned. You can buy clothing for your favorite guy or gal out there. MarineLayer.com/chatsports is going to get you 15% off. I'm rocking the Asher print sweater button down. in Blue Geo, but they got all kinds of stuff. They got winter clothing, spring clothing, summer, whatever you're trying to load up on. Do it right now with Marine Layer. And if you want to get these gifts in before Christmas Day, say you're buying for someone else and want to put it under the Christmas tree, just order it by December 18th. If you do, guarantee you're going to get your shipment in time. MarineLayer.com/chatsports. One more time, it's MarineLayer.com/chatsports. Get you 15% off. I think we can all admit Christmas shopping can be tough. Not anymore. MarineLayer.com/chatsports. Let's get to our next Ngakoue replacement. How about bringing back a familiar face, Robert Quinn, who has had a bizarre last 4 seasons. He remains unsigned as well. 2019 in Dallas, he was pretty damn good. That led to Ryan Pace probably overpaying him, giving him that $70 million contract. He had a foot issue that year that wasn't very productive, but in 2021, he had arguably the best year of his career with 18.5 sacks and 4 forced fumbles. Last year started slow with the Bears, did not get better after getting traded to Philadelphia, and he has not been with the team since, because remember when he got traded to Philly, they kind of merged his contract just into a 1-year deal, and now he is a free agent. He also ran into some legal trouble in August. I'm not sure where that case sits. It was some sort of hit-and-run situation, so not sure how his legal issues could impact the team that could sign him. I'm not sure the NFL would step in and potentially suspend him, but again, not sure where that case sits at this point in time. But I do know this about Robert Quinn. 1, he did not want to leave Chicago. That is an absolute fact. 2, his last really good season was in Chicago. And 3, Matt Eberflus and Alan Williams, who's no longer here, obviously, they spoke very highly of him in their brief time with Robert Quinn last year before Ryan Poles traded him. So, I think it's worth a call, seeing if he's in shape. If you want to bring in a vet like him, he obviously would know the system. And who knows, maybe he's got a little something left in the tank as well. Should the Bears sign a free agent edge? What do you guys think? Yes or no? And if they should, pick a name. Let us know who you think they should go out and get. If not, maybe you're saying, just keep it internal. I do think at least in the short term, like this week, they'll roll with what they got. But obviously, if it's the pass rush isn't productive outside of Montez Sweat this week, maybe they'll look to add somebody. Let me know if you think they should sign someone. Let's get weird, folks. J.J. Watt, and let me just put the disclaimer out there. This is obviously very unlikely, but a couple things. 1, J.J. Watt to Bears rumors have been around forever because his wife used to play professional soccer in Chicago. We always thought maybe he would play there. He spoke highly about the Bears. It just never seemed to happen. He ended up signing with Arizona, played his last couple of seasons there, but his last season before retiring, he was phenomenal last year. It was one of the best years he's had in a long time. 12.5 sacks, 25 QB hits. He can play edge. He can play interior. He's still in fantastic shape. He talks about it on McAfee shows all the time. He says, yeah, if I wanted to play, I would absolutely still be playing. Could still play at a high level. Now, if we're being real, if he decided to sign on with the team in December, it would probably be with a team that's much more likely to be a contender. Sure, the Bears could rally and sneak into the playoffs, but I don't think he would sign with Chicago, at least right now. Maybe if 2 weeks go by and 2 more wins come up, maybe that could change. But I do believe him when he says he's done. But I also believe him when he says, yeah, if I wanted to play, I could play at a high level. I mean, he still looks the part, and he was fantastic last year. So who knows? This is the ultimate long shot, but he is available to sign if he does decide to return to football. Let's throw another familiar name out there, Akiem Hicks, who obviously Bears fans know and love very much. More of a defensive tackle, especially in a 4-3 scheme, so obviously positional factors in there on that front. His career stats with the Bears, he was very good here. Had a really good run in Chicago in 6 seasons. And more than the numbers, he just brought an edge and an intensity to this defense week in and week out that I don't know if the Bears have that guy right now. I think Montez Sweat, you're starting to see that. I think this defense is starting to round into form. And I will say the last couple of weeks, this defense is reminding me of some of the groups that Hicks played on, like in 2018 and 2019. So we know what he's about. He tweeted out there was a report a few weeks back that he's debating a return to sign with the team, that several teams have been interested, but likely would be contenders. The Bears don't fall into that category just yet. But like Robert Quinn, he is available to sign. Now, pick a former Bear. If you could pick just one of these guys, who would you rather have back on the team? Type RQ for Robert Quinn or AH for Akiem Hicks. Obviously, Quinn fits the positional need a little bit more at the edge spot, but not like you couldn't use a defensive tackle either. RQ for Quinn or AH for Hicks. All right, Trey Flowers here, who had a really good run in New England, left for Detroit, was briefly in Miami, and then signed with the Patriots this offseason. Ended up getting hurt. The Patriots ended up cutting him from IR back in October. Look, the last 18 games since 2020, which he's had a lot of injuries, hadn't been available, just 3.5 sacks. He's kind of cooked. Like, I think he's done. Sure, you could work him out, see if he's got anything left in the tank, but he's a free agent for a reason. He hasn't been productive for years for a reason, so I don't think he's really someone that I would be that interested in. I would rather just look internal if it comes down to Trey Flowers, because DeMarcus Walker, opportunity for him to show even more than what he has recently. Rasheem Green as well. I like that signing at the time as a depth player. Now he perhaps gets a chance to get some more snaps. Dominique Robinson, maybe one last chance here. I mean, he's been a healthy scratch for weeks now. This could be an opportunity for him to show something as, look, if this streak continues of him being inactive going into the offseason, his roster spot, I have to think, is very much in jeopardy for 2024. So maybe he gets one more look. And then Khalid Kareem, who the Bears cut Terrell Lewis for on a roster cutdown day, ended up cutting him, but he's back on the practice squad. Maybe he gets elevated to the 53-man roster. You give him a look. He played in the one game and kind of flashed a little bit. Had a breakup, had a nice tackle as well. So we'll see if he's someone who gets a look also. But obviously it's going to be by committee. Zach Pickens, Javon Dexter, who have been moving around playing different spots. More opportunities for them as well. But certainly a bummer for Yannick Ngakoue, who is now out for the rest of the season. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's video. If you missed our video earlier today, I did 5 blockbuster trades featuring the number 1 pick if the Bears do decide to keep Justin Fields and trade down from number 1. So go check that out. We'll also be back tomorrow with a video in the morning and our live show like we do every Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 Central Time. So bear down. We'll see you soon.